Hi, this is Mike. Welcome back to the Test Valley. Just a couple of items today. One is Joker's Ugly Engine Challenge. Had to break out my old Shark Nose pack. The only reason why I ever bought these is the real engines, the prototypes, are actually in storage. They're owned by the Escanaba and Lake Superior Railroad in my hometown of Escanaba. And there's another YouTuber, Jason Aslin. He follows Escanaba and Lake Superior Railroad all through the UP. Into Wisconsin sometimes, and he's actually caught the 1215 a few years ago now, since it's been spotted out in the wild driving through Escanaba. People have broken into the storage area. They've peeled off the badges and stuff. And I don't think either one of them are running right now. The 1206 is in really rough shape. Actually, I think I have the numbers wrong. It's 1205 is the lead engine in my set, and 1216 I think is the second engine. That's the one that I think the actual prototype, the engine's removed. It's just basically a shell sitting in a warehouse. But they are both of these numbered engines. The real prototype are in Escanaba, Michigan, owned by the Escanaba and Lake Superior Railroad. Another thing from the train loft is a custom DT&I Flatcar with the Vernor's pup trailers. There was a little bit of a mix-up in the paperwork, so I finally received that today. I was waiting for that for a while. I'm a Vernor's fan. You know, if you're a Michigander, you have to know what Vernor's is. And I have tried their new Boston Cooler flavor. Not too crazy about it. I'll make my own Boston Coolers with some French vanilla ice cream and pour good old Vernor's on top of it, and that'll be my real Boston Cooler. So I've got that flat car with the two pup trailers. I don't think I have a video on the channel with the new breast cancer awareness tanker. So that arrived a few weeks ago now. I've been trying to rewire my temporary layout to try and get my little Back to the Future DeLorean with that little 3D printed piece on the bottom. And I'm trying to create a little nudge bar for the front of my number 29 copper range steam locomotive to be able to push that around the layout. So I'm still having some wiring issues now that I've taken out the switches that were on this temporary layout. So I have to make sure that I'm getting signal everywhere. Otherwise, that's why the inner loop wasn't running today. The number 29 copper range would get to a certain spot and stop. So at least the outer loop worked long enough to get this video out for Joker's trains and his ugly locomotive challenge. And the other two items that arrived today, not something I had on my list or I'd planned to order, but these came in on a daily email from Mr. Muffin. And I'm a Soo Line guy, but I don't think I have. And I looked through my stock, and I couldn't find any of these 2-bay hoppers. So I bought both road numbers that were available from Mr. Muffin. He has them on sale right now. And those arrived in the same UPS drop-off as the Vernor's flat car. So 4 new pieces of rolling stock. 3 arrived today, and had to break out my old ugly Shark Nose engines, Delaware and Hudson's, out of storage to participate in Joker's Trains Ugly Engine Challenge. So when I first saw these engines years ago, I didn't know they were in Escanaba. I thought it was an ugly engine. That nose is either you love it or you hate it. So when Zach posted about a week ago now about his ugly locomotive challenge, I knew that I had to enter these two into the challenge. So hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks to all the new subscribers. We're still hovering around 515, so we'll see how things go for the rest of the year. Next item that should be arriving here within the next month is another flat car with Yuengling pup trailers. Oh, I can't wait for that one. Now that Yuengling is available here in Michigan, I haven't seen it in stores yet, but I've heard lots of friends actually going to local bars, and it seems that their launch into Michigan with Yuengling was at bars first. And then the bottles and cans in retail stores and liquor stores and stuff might be a few weeks away yet. So hopefully they'll be in the stores here so I can stock up on Oktoberfest. And hopefully they'll make the Hershey Porter again this year, because those are my go-to beers when I go to hunting camp here in November. As well as the Deer Camp Amber Ale from the Upper Hand Brewery in Escanaba as well. So those are my 3 go-to staples when I go to hunting camp, along with a couple bottles of specific bourbons. So, well, like I said, hope you enjoyed today's video. Shark noses, love them or hate them. I think they're kind of ugly, but I had to buy them for the Escanaba link there. And the 2-bay hopper Soo Line, DT&I Flatcar with Vernor's pup trailers, and the breast cancer awareness. So hope you enjoyed today's video, and until next time, this is Mike. Thanks.